1. The 2-inch hair rule in federal facilities. Your hair cannot exceed 2 inches in length in any direction. Not because long hair is dangerous, but because it might be used to hide contraband. So every few weeks, you're marched to the barber for a mandatory buzz cut. The system has decided that your follicles are a security threat. Forget rehabilitation, your split ends are the real enemy here. 2. The handshake ban. Physical contact between inmates is strictly prohibited. That includes handshakes, fist bumps, or a pat on the back. The official reason? Gang signs and secret communication. The actual result? A world where basic human connection is criminalized. You can spend 10 years next to someone and never once shake their hand in greeting or goodbye. 3. Scented anything equals contraband. Scented lotion, scented soap, cologne all banned. If your mom sends you a birthday card and it smells even faintly like her perfume, it's confiscated and destroyed. The logic is that strong scents can be used to mask the smell of drugs or alcohol. So the unintended consequence is that everything and everyone smells like industrial bleach and sadness. All day, every day. 4. The pillow paradox. You're not allowed to have a real pillow. What you get is a thin vinyl pillow stuffed with what feels like shredded plastic bags. It's designed to be non-flammable and impossible to weaponize. It's also designed, apparently, to guarantee chronic neck pain. Sleep is hard enough when you're locked in a concrete box, but the system makes sure that even rest is uncomfortable by design. 5. No sitting on bunks during the day between morning count and evening lockdown. You are forbidden from sitting or lying on your bunk. You can sit on the floor, on a plastic chair, or stand, but the moment your body touches that mattress before authorized hours, you're written up. The rule is meant to encourage active participation in prison programs. What it actually encourages is back pain and resentment. 6. Birthday cake is a felon. Inmates are not allowed to celebrate birthdays with any kind of cake or communal dessert, even ones purchased from the commissary. Why? Because large group gatherings around food are considered gang activity. So, your 40th birthday in prison is marked not with a cake, but with a warning that joy itself is suspicious. 7. The dictionary weapon. Hardcover books are almost universally banned. This includes hardcover Bibles, hardcover dictionaries, and hardcover textbooks. The fear is that a thick, heavy book can be used as a bludgeoning weapon. So your path to education and spiritual growth must be paved exclusively with flimsy paperbacks that fall apart after 2 readings. Knowledge is power, unless it's bound to wealth. 8. You can't give away your lunch if you're not hungry and want to hand your tray to someone who is. That's an infraction. Unauthorized exchange of state property, they call it. Never mind that the food will be thrown in the trash anyway. Never mind that the guy next to you is still hungry. Compassion is contraband. Generosity is a violation. Waste is policy. 9. The squat and costrip searches are routine and degrading. But there's one element that's particularly dehumanizing. After you're fully naked, you're ordered to squat and cough multiple times in front of guards. The stated purpose is to dislodge anything hidden in body cavities. The unstated purpose is to remind you that your body is not your own. It's a ritual of humiliation disguised as security protocol. 10. No weather up to T's in many facilities. Inmates don't have access to current weather reports or forecasts. They can't check if a storm is coming, if it's going to be freezing, or if a heat wave is on the way. Why? Because weather information could theoretically be used to plan an escape. So you live in a permanent state of meteorological ignorance, waiting to see if today's rec yard session will be in blazing heat or freezing rain. Surprise. 11. 3-page letter limit. Incoming mail is restricted to 3 pages is maximum. If your sister writes you a 4-page letter pouring her heart out, page forgets confiscated. The reason given is efficiency in mail processing. The actual effect is that deep, meaningful written communication with the outside world is literally rationed by the page. 12. No abbreviations. Letters that contain too many abbreviations or acronyms are flagged as coded messages and can be rejected entirely. So if your nephew writes lol, oh my god, BTW in his letter, it might get sent back. The system sees a teenager's casual texting language as a potential gang cipher because obviously BRB is secret cartel code .13. Monitored attorney calls with your lawyer supposedly protected by attorney-client privilege are often recorded. There's usually a disclaimer, but the chilling effect is real. You're supposed to have confidential legal strategy conversations while knowing a guard is potentially listening. It's a constitutional right with an asterisk the size of Texas. 14. The email taxum facilities offer email access through private companies, but every message costs money. Sending one email, 47 cents. Receiving one, $0.47. So a simple back and forth conversation with your daughter about her school day can cost you severa $L more than an entire day's wages for prison labor. Communication isn't a right, it's a subscription service. 15. Video visits. Only an increasing number of prisons have eliminated in-person visitation entirely, replacing it with video terminals. Your family drives for hours to the prison, then sits in a room staring at you on a screen while you're literally in the same building, 200 feet away. The prison saves money on security staffing. You lose the only physical human contact you had left. 16. No slang. Aloydising slang, street language, or non-English words in letters can get your mail rejected. A Puerto Rican inmate writing to his grandmother in Spanish. Flagged. Someone using the word homie. Potential gang communication. The subtext is clear. You will communicate in the King's English, or you will not communicate at all. 17. Reading mail aloud in some facilities. Guards don't just screen your mail, they read it aloud to you through the cell door, while other inmates listen. There's no privacy, no quiet moment of connection. Your mom's words about missing you become public broadcast content for Cell Block C. Intimacy is a thing of the past. 18. No emojis or drawings. Letters containing hand-drawn images, smiley faces, or doodles are rejected. A child's crayon drawing of their family, confiscated. It could contain hidden messages in the colors or shapes, so your 6-year-old's attempt to send you love gets treated like a threat assessment puzzle. 19. Call time limits. Phone calls are capped at 15 minutes and cost up to $1 per minute, so you have exactly 15 minutes to talk to your kids, hear about their week, tell them you love them, and then click the line goes dead mid-sentence. There's no just one more minute. Time's up. Pay again or hang up. 20. No conference. Cal Sciu can only speak to one approved person at a time on the phone. So if your parents wanted to both talk to you, they have to take turns on separate calls, each one costing $10 to $15. A simple family conversation becomes a budgeting decision. Who gets to hear your voice this week? 21. The 6-inch rule. Any item in your cell cannot be within 6 inches of the cell door. Not a book, not a photo, not a cup. If a guard walks by and sees a comb sitting 5.5 inches from the door, it's a violation. The reason? Items near the door could theoretically be used to grab or injure a passing guard. The result? A life spent mentally measuring distances in 6-inch increments. 2. Clear electronics. Only in facilities that allow personal radios or MP3 players. They must be fully transparent. Clear plastic casing so guards can see every internal component. You're listening to music on a device that looks like a high school science project, because even your radio is under surveillance. 3. White clothing. Only personal clothing. Socks, underwear, undershirts must be plain white. No colors, no logos, no patterns. The stated reason is gang affiliation prevention. The actual result is that you wear the same colorless uniform as everyone else, right down to your boxer shorts. Individuality ends at the skin. 4. Quarterly cell purgatory. 3 months. Guards conduct a deep search of your cell. Anything they deem excessive gets thrown out. That extra bar of soap you've been saving? Gone. The 11th photo when you're only allowed 10. Trashed. It doesn't matter if everything was legally purchased. If it's over the limit that day, it's garbage. 5. No batteries. Most battery-operated devices are banned entirely. The fear is that batteries can be used to create fire or crude electrical weapons. So you can't have a battery-powered clock, fan, or flashlight. You live by the prison's schedule, breathe the prison's stale air, and sit in darkness when the lights go out. All because a battery is considered tactical equipment. 26. The string rule. Any string, thread, or cord longer than 12 inches is contraband. Shoelaces are pre-measured and approved approved. Anything else, including dental floss, if you have too much of it wound up, is confiscated. The fear is that string can be used to strangle, bind, or create tripwires. The result is that you can't even tie something closed. To 7. No cardboard box. Storage containers must be clear plastic bins purchased from commissary at inflated prices. You can't repurpose a cardboard box to organize your belongings. Why? Because cardboard is opaque and could hide contraband. So you pay $14 for a plastic showbox that costs one watch only. You are allowed to own exactly one watch, and it must be from an approved list of models that are clear plastic and cost $30 to $50 from the commissary. If your watch breaks, you must dispose of it before purchasing another. Why? Two watches could theoretically be used for timing coordinated activities. Like what? Synchronized meditation. 29. Blanket size restrictions. Blanks cannot exceed a specific dimension, usually round 60 by 80 inches. If your family sends you a normal queen-size blanket because you're freezing at night, it's sent back, not because it's dangerous, because it's 3 inches too long. Warmth must be regulation-sized. 30. The coffee lid conspiracy. Plastic lids from coffee cups purchased in the prison commissary must be immediately discarded after use. Why? Because inmates were using them as makeshift mirrors, scoops, or cutting them into shapes for other purposes. So now, your lukewarm instant coffee comes with a lid you're required to throw away before leaving the day room. Resourcefulness is punishable by write-up. Here's a question for you. If you were locked up under these rules, which one would push you over the edge first? The fact that you can't hug your kid, that your blanket has to be measured, or that coffee lids are considered criminal tools? Drop your answer in the comments. I genuinely want to know which of these breaks your brain the most. 31. No raw vegetables or raw vegetables are banned in many facilities because they could carry bacteria or be used to brew alcohol. So your diet consists exclusively of overcooked, nutritionally void mush. The irony? Prisons tout health and wellness programs while feeding you food that actively destroys your body. 32. The condiment limit. You are allowed a maximum of 3 condiment packets per meal. 3 ketchups, 3 salts, 3 mayos. If you try to take a 4th, it's considered hoarding. So you carefully ration your sodium and sugar like you're on a lifeboat, because in a sense, you are. 33. No Tupperware. You cannot save leftovers in any kind of container. If you don't finish your meal, it goes in the trash. This isn't about food safety, it's about control. The message is clear. You eat what we give you when we give you. And any attempt to exert control over your own nutrition is rebellion. 34. Kosher. Halo waiting lists. Religious dietary accommodations exist on paper, but the waiting list can be 6 to 12 months long. And if you're approved, you're interrogated regularly to prove your faith is genuine. Guards become theological experts, quizzing you on religious practices to determine if you really deserve to eat according to your beliefs. 35. Boiling water is forbidden. Heating water to make tea, instant soup, or coffee using improvised methods is a serious violation. But the prison doesn't provide hot water on demand, and commissary items often require it. So you're sold products you can't actually use without breaking the rules. It's a setup. 36. Food as punishment. Inmates in solitary confinement are often served Nutriloaf, a dense, flavorless brick containing all required nutrients, but designed to be as unpalatable as possible. It's punishment food. Eating becomes one more thing designed to degrade you. Even when you're already in the worst conditions, the system offers. 37. No sharing commissary. If you buy a candy bar from commissary and break off half for your cellmate, that's unauthorized transfer of goods. So you're forced to watch someone who has no money and no support go without, while you have extra. The system actively criminalizes kindness. 38. The Great Pepper ban. Black pepper is banned in many facilities because it can be used to attack guards, thrown in eyes, or to throw off drug-sniffing dogs. So your already flavorless food is also completely unseasoned. Taste is a privilege, apparently. 39. Expired food is standard. Food served in prison is often past its expiration date, sometimes by months. Milk that's gone sour, bread with visible mold, mystery meat of unknown origin. And if you refuse to eat it, you simply don't eat. There's no alternative, no refund, no complaint department. 40. The ice cream incident. In one infamous case, a prison banned ice cream because inmates were letting it melt, fermenting it with other ingredients, and creating alcohol. Rather than address the desperation that drives people to ferment Nestle drumsticks, they just eliminated ice cream entirely. Problem solved, right? 41. Mirror restrictions. Small metal mirrors bolted to cell walls aren't mirrors, they're polished metal sheets that give a warped, distorted reflection. You can't actually see yourself clearly. Some psychologists argue this is intentional. It's harder to maintain a sense of identity when you can't even see your own face properly. For 2. No seasonal decoration. You can't put up a paper snowflake in December or a hand-drawn birthday banner. Decorations are considered alteration of state property, your cell walls. So every single day looks identical. There's no visual marker of time passing, no celebration, no seasons, just gray sameness forever. For 3. Forced medication observation. If you're prescribed medication, you must take it in front of a nurse and open your mouth for inspection afterward. Even routine medications, the assumption is that you'll either stockpile pills or sell them. So taking your blood pressure medication becomes a daily exercise in proving you're not a liar. For 4. The 60-second shower water is on a timer. You get 60 to 90 seconds of water. That's it. You have to soap up, rinse off, and be done before the water shuts off automatically. There's no adjusting temperature, no second rinse, just cold efficiency. Hygiene becomes a race against the clock. 45. No pets or plants. This seems obvious, but the cruelty is in the details. Even a small plant in your cell is forbidden. Not a cactus, not a spider plant, nothing. The reason given is security and sanitation. The actual effect is the removal of any living thing you could care for, nurture, mandatory bunk position. Your bed must be made in a specific military style. Corners tucked at 45-degree angles, blanket pulled tight enough to bounce a quarter. If it's not perfect during inspection, you're written up. It's not about cleanliness, it's about obedience. Every morning is a test of your willingness to comply with pointless standards. For 7. Standing count in winter. In the dead of winter, when indoor temperatures drop below freezing in some facilities, you must stand at your cell door in your state-issued short-sleeve shirt for count. No jacket, no blanket. You stand there, shivering, while guards slowly walk the tier. Compliance over comfort, always. For 8. The noise violation paradox. You can be written up for being too loud during quiet hours, but you can also be written up for being suspiciously quiet, because that might indicate you're hiding something or planning something. So you have to hit the exact decibel level of acceptably normal at all times. Silence is suspicious. Noise is disruptive. There's no winning. 49. ID must be visible always. Your prison ID badge must be visibly displayed on your person at all times, even in your own cell. If a guard walks by and can't see it, you're in violation. It doesn't matter if you just woke up or you're in the middle of changing clothes. Your identification as an inmate must be visible every single second. Alright, we've covered 49 rules, and honestly, it feels like each one is worse than the last. But if I had to pick the single most outrageous, most pointlessly cruel rule on this entire list, it's number 15, video visits only. Why? Because it takes the one moment of human connection, the one thing that keeps people tethered to their humanity, and turns it into a corporate transaction. Your family drives hours, pays fees, and sits in a building where you're physically present, just to stare at you through a screen. It's not about security, it's about profit and control. And that, to me, is the most outrageous thing on this list. Do you agree? Or did another rule hit you harder? Let me know in the comments. Now, here's number 50. 50. You can be punished for rules that don't exist. There's the ultimate rule. Guards and administrators can write you up for any behavior deemed disruptive or threatening, even if there's no specific written rule against it. It's a catch-all clause that means the rule book is never actually complete. You can follow every single written rule perfectly and still be punished because someone decided your attitude was wrong. You looked at someone the wrong way. You asked too many questions. You were too quiet or too loud or too something. It's the rule that protects all other rules. It's the ace up the system's sleeve that says, we make the rules, we interpret the rules, and we can change them whenever we want. It's not a justice system. It's a control system, and this final rule proves it.